this is a season of reflection, and it really is important that we do remember. There is an importance about remembering, but my concern is that we remember the wrong things. We remember the things that really don't serve us any longer. Well, hello there, prosperity seeker and obedient rebel. Welcome to another episode of the Prosperity Approach. I am your obedient rebel in residence, Allyson Chavez. Super excited to share with you how I have rebelled against limiting programming, cultural conditioning, society's beliefs, and obeyed God's laws, universal principles of wealth and prosperity to change my entire life. And now that is what I am passionate about helping you do as well. Today, first, Merry Christmas. Can I just say what a relief it is to be, quote, allowed to say that again? Merry Christmas. This is a very natural time of year when we're reflecting. This is where, especially that time between Christmas and New Year's, like that limbo time where we're still in party mode, but we're also looking towards the next year and what we want to change and reflecting back on the year. And my family and I have a tradition. Every New Year's Day, or right around New Year's Day, we make a list of our favorite memories of that year and then things that we hope will happen for the next year. And then we put them in envelopes and we put them away, and then we open it up the next year and read and see how close we were and, hitting the goals that we wanted or the experiences that we wanted to have. And it's really, really fun. We've done it for, 26 years. So we have this binder full of kids' memories and our memories. And it's been really, really fun. But this is a season of reflection. And it really is important that we do remember. There is an importance about remembering. But my concern is that we remember the wrong things. We remember the things that really don't serve us any longer. And how do we get over that when we're told to make our weaknesses our strengths, when the past comes to haunt us, when we seem to face the same trial just at a different level, over and over again? How do we interpret that in a way that is going to help us navigate through adversities and also help us feel peaceful and joyful about the future? Because I don't know about you, but I've done something hard and then that something has come up again. And then I'm filled with doubt, can I do this? Oh, I don't know if I can do this again. But it's Allyson, you did it before. Of course you can do it again. But we all have this human experience where sometimes we've got more self-doubt than we have self-belief. And we think that we have to figure it out on our own and not have the help of angels or others around us. And we're kind of all on our own. So I wanted to share with you a story that I had heard about the importance of remembering. And also it's called The Philosophy of Excellence. And it brought me a lot of comfort. I thought it was really fantastic counsel. And so I want to share that with you as well. There is a very famous artist named Whistler. Maybe you've seen the picture called Whistler's Mother. So Whistler was a very, very famous artist. He's since passed away. But there was one point in his life where he painted a very, very tiny picture of a spray of roses. And it was absolutely gorgeous. Collectors wanted it. People, they were clamoring to buy this tiny little painting of roses. But Whistler refused to sell it. Refused. And of course, they were all frustrated and didn't understand why. And they asked him, and this is what he told them. He said, "Whenever I feel that my hand has lost its cunning, whenever I doubt my ability, I look at that picture of those roses and say to myself, you painted that. Your hand drew it. Your imagination conceived the colors. Your skill put the roses on the canvas. Then I know what I have done, I can do again. Hang on the walls of your mind the memory of your successes. Take counsel of your strength, not your weaknesses. Think of the good jobs you have done. Think of the times when you rose above your average level of performance and carried out an idea or a dream or desire for which you had deeply longed. Hang these pictures on the walls of your mind and look at them as you travel the roadway of life. Isn't that so beautiful? Usually, well, I guess I can only speak for myself, but usually by the time the time of year we're at now, Christmas time, and really like after Halloween, in past years, I've been like, all right, this year's a wash. Let's just go to the next year already. But we still have 60 days or more left in the current year. And I've been very self-aware, more aware than I have been in the past, to stay right here in the present moment, to stay in this year, even with the difficulties of this year, but really to focus on, wow, how have I grown? And how has God delivered me from my doubts, from mental health issues, from physical health issues, from family things that have gone on? I mean, it's been a tough year for most of us. But I look at all of the ways that God delivered us, like physically and mentally and emotionally and spiritually through those adversities, and who I've become in the process, and who my family and my children have become because of it, not in spite of it. And, scriptures are filled with stories of God delivering his people physically from slavery, from bondage, from all those things. But I think that these days, the bondage and the slavery that God delivers us from as Americans is the bondage and slavery of limiting beliefs and of fear and of thinking that we're not enough and listening to all the voices shout at us not to trust our intuition or laugh at us because we believe in a God or we believe in Jesus Christ or try to make us shame us if we don't have the same opinions as other people. But God can deliver us from all of that. And he does deliver us from all of that. He delivers us from doubt. He delivers us from pain, from sorrow, and he can heal us so quickly. Now, there's something that we get to do. We get to play a part in this as well. So when we can look back on this year at the really wonderful things that happened, and also some of the things that didn't quite work out the way you expected them to, or even the disappointments or the heartbreak that you've had this year, and see where the blessings and the gold nuggets were in that particular situation and write those down, it will help you see how far you've actually come. It will help you with that closure of wounds that maybe haven't quite healed yet, to really heal those over, to know that you were never, ever alone in your trials or your adversity or in your weaknesses, that God sent you earthbound angels as well as heavenly angels to comfort you, to give you guidance, to give you encouragement. And that is not going to change. But he can work so much more powerfully in your life when you look at the good things that you've done, the challenges you've overcome, those things like Whistler said, when you've done above average from what you've normally done. Sometimes your 10 is a 10 and other times a 3 is a 10. And I've had lots of 3 is a 10 days over this past year. And I've learned to celebrate those instead of shame myself for those level 3 that was my 10 at the time. And so I invite you, as you reflect on this past year, the good, the bad, the ugly, the indifferent, and write those down. You look at your strengths, take counsel from your strengths. Look at the way that you were comforted and encouraged throughout the year and how you have grown, and celebrate that. Celebrate that. Then you can look to the future with peace and joy. In the midst of uncertainty, in the midst of tumultuous circumstances, you can be filled with peace, with gratitude, with certainty that everything is always working out for you and that God and the Lord always have your back. I think this is one of the most powerful ways to be an obedient rebel. If this episode was valuable to you or helped at all, or if somebody came to your mind that could use some encouragement and can use a little bit of obedient rebel in their life, please feel free and please share this episode with them. If you're watching this on YouTube, like and subscribe, hit the notification bell. And if you're listening to this on your favorite podcasting platform, rate and review, but most importantly, share. And if you want to continue this conversation, shoot me an email at Allyson@AllysonChavez.com, and let's hop on a 15-minute call together to reflect on this year and to see what you can create in the following year. Happy to connect with you. It's one of my favorite things to do. It's a free, no obligation call, no selling, just connecting and seeing what I can do to help. Until next time, remember, prosperity becomes you, especially when you involve him. Bye-bye.